Vegas Theater Company's latest production, The House on Watch Hill, is taking us back to the 80s, which means we've got to change up our gear because it's time for Backstage in Vegas. Ooh. Well, hey, Daz. Who's this little cute guy? Well, oh my goodness, look at that. Very terrifying, by the way. Not a cute little fluffy Fido, as we would call it. I mean, that's just a little taste of what you might expect to see at your current production. And this one's a really fun one. Tell us a little bit about it.
It's called The House on Watch Hill, and it's about a group of 7 misfit teenagers who one summer decide to do something crazy and build the world's greatest haunted house. And in the process, they fall in love and out of love, and friendships come and go, and they find inner strength within them to pull off a project that they didn't think was possible at all. It's a show about growing up and all things, the decisions that you make when you're 14, 15, 16 years of age, and the way that those decisions really impact your life going forward.
Yeah, very, very coming of age type of story. And Richard is at the forefront of what this story is.
Richard was one of the weird little kids who actually built this haunted house back in 1984, which is so wonderful because kids didn't have phones. They were out in the neighborhood doing stuff. And Richard was one of the kids. And, you know, this bunch of weird little kids is about to kind of explode on stage.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a present for you. This is one of our t-shirts.
No way! I was just gonna say, I'm a weird little kid too. This is awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, I love this. You bet. Oh man, this is great. Thank you so much, Daz. We gotta go talk to Richard because he's the brains behind a lot of the music that we're hearing in this show.
He is. The music's amazing. Go see him.
All right, this weird little kid is out.
Hello.
Hey, Richard.
How are you?
You're in your element right here.
This is my element, yes. This is where the magic or the curses actually happen.
Yes, and as you can see, I took a little trip back to the 80s.
You did. This is really great.
What was it like to put this music together, and what were some of the things you had to think about?
You sort of just inundate your brain with it, so you begin to speak in that kind of language. And so like the chords they were using, how the melodies work, it's a little bit of imitation, a little bit, but you become fluid with it like a language, and then out it comes. And even the style of lyric writing, you know, listening to what Pat Benatar was doing at that time, that's the language that these characters at age 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, that's how they spoke, you know, so that is part of how we write the lyrics as well.
And in talking about the characters, what was it like to work with the young cast for this?
Oh, Jessica, it was so cool. It's really cool because, you know, you imagine characters as a playwright. Maybe you have kind of a dress model in your mind of like, oh, it's kind of like this person or that person. But then you do these auditions and you see a lot of young artists, and then out of the bunch, like one will walk in the room and you'll go, that's what was in my brain.
And I do think you end up having these ideas of what you're maybe looking for, but then I feel like sometimes when you see this person take on a role or take on the song, it kind of changes and gives it this new life as well.
They're all trying to tell their stories, and we wrote this song, Rob and I wrote this song about one of these young ladies who is an artist, an actual drawing and a great painter at 13, 14 years old. So we wrote this great song, we heard it in our brain one way. And then we got to work with this incredible artist who won the role, Rosado, and she's so amazing. And just what she brings to it vocally,
it's a magical moment for sure. And I think in speaking of this magical moment, it's time that we get the cast up and we talk to some of them. Rosado, we just heard a bit of your beautiful solo. Tell us a little bit about your character in this production and what it's been like to work with the cast.
So my character name is Joy Matthews, and she is a late addition to the group of kids, and they're obviously trying to build their haunted house. And so I come in and I kind of represent that artistic freedom that you really have as a kid. Working with this cast has been a huge blessing because they really allow you to play with things and let you explore that little imagination that you had as a child and just allow that to come on stage.
Kristen is the resident drama queen of the group. She's very much a theater kid. She's very, very passionate about it. And she comes from kind of a rich family. So there's sort of this pressure on her to be like this perfect, skinny, put together lady when that is very much not who she is. But around her friends, she is very comfortable being herself and being the weird little kid that she is. Jennifer's character is something we don't see a lot. She's a lot like some characters that are very sarcastic, but she's goth. So she is the typical 80s goth character, super into different punk rock bands. She's really into comic books like Creepshow, but she's also kind of the glue for the group. I'd say that her and Joy are both the glue, and she's also very mature. So it was interesting to see how to make a 14-year-old like young Jen be that level of mature, but also still be childish enough to fit in with her friend group.
It's been a really big responsibility because every character that is in the show is based off of a real person in the time of 1984 in Cincinnati, Ohio. Patrick is based off of the composer of the show, Richard Oberacker. It's really nerve-wracking almost, but it's still so amazing because I get the honor of portraying such an amazing and talented person in a musical that he wrote. It's a really big responsibility, but it's been so fun to work with him and to work with the rest of the cast and see everything kind of come together one after the next and create a really beautiful production.
For tickets and showtimes on this production or any other upcoming productions Vegas Theater Company has going on, visit theater.vegas.